Welcome into Outkick the Show. I am your fearless leader, Clay Travis. I hope all of you are having fantastic Wednesdays wherever you may be across this great country or this great land. We've officially arrived at the start of NFL free agency, but it's already been underway for the past couple of days. We talked about Tom Brady to the Bucs. We talked about Teddy Bridgewater to the Panthers, and certainly we also talked about Phillip Rivers to the Colts. Well, we have a new quarterback addition to the overall repertoire here. The Jacksonville Jaguars have decided to move on from Nick Foles. They are sending him to the Chicago Bears to potentially back up and or win the starting job over Mitch Trubisky. This is a wild story because you look at it. Think about how bad Jacksonville has been with quarterbacks. They gave Blake Bortles $50 million. Then they kicked him to the curb. Then they gave $30.5 million to Nick Foles for 1 year. He started 4 games, went 0 for 4 for them, got injured, got beaten out by Gardner Minshew, and now they have $18.75 million in dead money on the salary cap to make up for the disastrous decision to go with Nick Foles. I hope this is not what the Titans look like in a couple of years with Ryan Tannehill. That's the risk here. Now, what you also have going on is you have a high-stakes now game of musical chairs with quarterbacks. And in particular with those quarterbacks, there aren't that many jobs left. The Chargers have basically let it be known that they're not signing anybody in free agency, that they're probably going to pick overall. I believe they have the 6th pick. Maybe they're going to go get Justin Herbert. Maybe they're going to go get trade up and try to get Tua. Whatever the case may be, they're going to go into the new SoFi Stadium in L.A. with Tyrod Taylor as their ostensible starter, which means that only the New England Patriots have an opening for a quarterback right now, and we don't know what they're going to do exactly. They have the 23rd overall pick. There are reports that Bill Belichick might be enamored of Jacob Eason, but if there are reports about Bill Belichick saying and doing anything, you know they're probably not from the source because the guy doesn't talk to anybody. So if you're looking around, here are the contenders potentially to start for the New England Patriots. Cam Newton, who is on his way out at Carolina and may not have that good of a destination point. Jameis Winston, who has been usurped as the starting quarterback in Tampa Bay by Tom Brady. Andy Dalton, who is on his way out, it appears, with the Cincinnati Bengals. Maybe Jacoby Brissett, who may be on his way out with the Colts now that they've given $25 million to Phillip Rivers. That's pretty much it in terms of guys that could step in to take over for Jarrett Stidham with the Patriots. There are not a lot of options out here on the horizon in quarterbacks, and there are a lot of guys out there that don't really know where they're going to end up and are unlikely to be starters. I'm looking at you, maybe Cam Newton, maybe Andy Dalton, maybe Jameis Winston. It's hard to know exactly what is going to happen there. It's possible that Bill Belichick likes Jarrett Stidham. It's possible he makes a trade to try to get back Jacoby Brissett, since Jacoby Brissett has been usurped as the starting quarterback now with the Indianapolis Colts. Maybe Jacoby Brissett wants to stay in Indianapolis. You can make an argument that Jameis Winston might be best served to stay in Tampa Bay because Tom Brady is an older quarterback, and it could make sense for him to potentially be able to take over. It's a ridiculous proposition. I don't know if they even want him back in Tampa Bay. It's kind of embarrassing to sign him a backup contract. I think they probably don't want him there, but it's at least worth thinking about in general. Those are all of the quarterback situations that are at play right now. There are lots of teams that need backups. Who knows exactly what quarterbacks will be in the mix? But that is the quarterback analysis as I see it. All right, coronavirus. I know there's a lot of doom and gloom out there. All these different reports are circulating about how many people are going to die, the fact that everybody's going to fall apart. There's some things that I just think numbers-wise don't get enough attention, and so I want to start with this. I want to just give you the basics. Do you know that nearly 3 million people die in the United States every year from a variety of different causes? Nearly 3 million. That surprises a lot of people because it's a big number. And when you think about the 3 million, when you break it down, that's 8,220 people per day. 8,220 people a day die in America. So far, from the coronavirus, we've had around 120 die. So 3 million a year die in the United States. That's an average of 8,220 people dying a day. So far, around 120 have died of the coronavirus. Now, if you look at the data, and start to plot it out, we can look at China, we can look at South Korea, we can look at Japan, we can even start to look at some of the European countries which appear close to plateauing on the total number of new daily infections they're getting. There's a lot of numbers out there. I understand that a lot of people are overwhelmed by these numbers. What you need to be paying attention to, if you're as fascinated by the coronavirus as I am, you need to be paying attention to new daily infection numbers. Now, these aren't infections that are actually taking place on this day. They're infections that took place either 5 or more days on average into the past, but we're just now finding out about them right now. So our total daily infections, when you think about the curve, the number's going to keep going up for a long time because every time somebody new comes on, they get added. But what we want to see happen is for the new daily infection rate to plateau and then start to decline. And if you look at what has happened in those other countries that have undertaken aggressive action to try to stop the spread of the virus, I believe that we are going to be doing well, okay? I understand there's a lot of people out there who want to sell you doom and gloom. Millions of people are going to die. Hundreds of thousands of people are going to die from this. I don't think the data reflects that from Asia. And I don't think the data reflects that from Europe either. I believe that we have got really smart people in charge, Dr. Fauci and Dr. Birx. And I believe if you watch these daily White House press briefings, we are going to see our infection rate, as Dr. Birx said at the press briefing, skyrocket. Like I think we had 1,800-ish yesterday. We'll probably might even have 2,000 new infections today. That's because we're rapidly upgrading the amount of testing that we're doing. Tens of thousands of tests that are going out there on a day-to-day basis. As that total infection number goes up, however, what you need to pay attention to is the death rate is going to go down. So as right now, there are certainly 10, 12, 14,000 people at minimum in this country who have the coronavirus. Less than 1% of people in South Korea are dying of the coronavirus that have the illness. 0.7% to be fair. Germany is even crazier. Germany has got over 11,000, over 12,000, I believe now, infections that they have cataloged, and they have had only 28 deaths at the thing that I have seen most recently. That means for Germany right now, they are handling the coronavirus so well in Germany that, and I don't know exactly what they're doing differently than everybody else because they have the lowest death rate so far. In Germany, the coronavirus is killing at somewhat roughly similar rates to the seasonal flu, depending on the variations that might arise from the seasonal flu. 0.23% of all people who get the coronavirus in Germany right now are dying. That means, somebody help me with the math, 99.77% of people in Germany, regardless of their age, are surviving if they get the coronavirus. Let me repeat that because it's a magnificent stat relative to every other country in the world. And I'm not sure what Germany is doing differently, but in Germany right now, with 12,000 cases confirmed, Germany, at the most recent number I saw, had 28 deaths. 99.77% of people who get the virus in Germany are surviving. And maybe you guys can come up with your own German theories. Maybe it's the beer. Maybe it's the lederhosen. Maybe it is the clean alpine air in much of the country. Maybe it is the rigorous engineer-like mentality. I don't know. These are all stereotypes of European countries. But right now, Germany, 99.77% of all people who are infected with the coronavirus are surviving. That's extraordinary. The next best is South Korea at 99.3%. We are probably going to run closer to South Korea, although we don't know until we see what the total numbers are going to be. Once we stop the new infections from growing, then the story suggests that this virus declines precipitously. That's what happened in China. It's what happened in Japan. It's what happened in South Korea. I believe it's what's starting to happen in Europe. And I believe it's also what is going to happen in the United States. If you are at all intrigued by this, go read the article that I posted at Outkick.com. It's a front page article. It's got a huge picture of all of our Corona task force up there. Go read it. You'll be glad that you did, because it will give you some factual data and some reasons for optimism, as opposed to being obsessed with the worst possible outcome. All right. I love all of you. My name is Clay Travis. We'll be on live tomorrow, 6 to 9 a.m. Eastern on Sirius XM Channel 83, nationwide on 50 states. Congratulations, Cleveland. We're back with you. Also, Orlando and Jacksonville. We keep expanding the number of cities that we are on. I appreciate all of you. My name is Clay Travis. This has been Outkick the Show. DBAP, unless you need to SBAP. Kisses. Facts matter, boys and girls. Use them. I'll see you guys tomorrow. See y'all. Thank you, Facebook. See y'all.